Red deck doing what red deck do. Doobie red deck. Doobie red deck. Gonna get you red deck. His hand's a medium. Have none of my 12 1-drops. Probably would have mulliganed this on the draw. Versus a blind opponent. Our opponent is too busy learning to laugh, though, to play, so... Oh! There's magic to be played. Onward, little friend. How you doing today, Anthony? Rip. This is not the type of draw that beats those type of decks. I have too many lands and I already have a mulligan. If he has a censor, I'm just screwed. But I'm gonna play it anyway. I kid. The hell? Think I'm lagging? You are missing something important. You're missing Magic the Gathering. Please, no Essence Scatter, no Censor. Don't you dare tap one of those blue lands. Oh, wrecked. If I'd drawn a 1-drop, he'd never get to cast that spell versus me. Wee. So I got paired versus Turbo Fog round 1? Is that what this is? Just casually Turbo Fog? I have no idea what this list is. Is it that really bad deck that has like 2 Fraben Inspectors that doesn't do anything? Oh god, please let it be that deck. Please, oh please let it be that deck. I probably can't lose if it's that deck. Um... I looked at that deck list earlier, And I couldn't understand how it had ever won a single game ever. It's got flaccid alliances and immolating glares, I guess, but a couple of fumigates, a couple of second suns, a cast out, but it didn't have anything that seemed like it mattered at all. I think second suns will be annoying, I guess. Yeah, that's an immolating glare. Just can't possibly lose. Their draw was miserable as well. Do they have like a million sideboard cards to beat us? I did not look at the sideboard at all. They have to have just a bunch of things that say life gain from white, right? Like, they're probably going to have cats. They're probably going to have Limvalas. They're probably going to have the 5-mana cat. They're probably going to have the 40 of councils. They're probably going to have... maybe have champion. Probably going to have champion. Their entire sideboard is just going to be like 9-ish cards to beat the red deck. That's the only way I can see them beating the red deck. They weren't a Gearhulk deck, so I don't think I need the Scavenging Grounds. Definitely don't need that. 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 Maybe, maybe. No, no. So what would be bad versus them? Braid would not be good, right? Yeah, so hasty things that can come back forever has to be good. This would be a match, by the way, that Chandra would be great in. This card seems medium here. Kinda think I want more haste threats. Hasty fly threats seem okay. These shocks seem real bad. I don't really want these. They don't do anything either. Let's get these couple of shocks back in here. Alright, I give up. They're not going to have that many, though. Even if they just have a 4 of, they only have a 44% chance to draw it. So, like, they have to get pretty lucky to hit it. Because the max that they're going to have is 2 or 3. They're not even going to have 4. So, like, they're going to get it less than half the time. When they do get it, it's just going to be great. But, like, that's the type of card you don't want in your sideboard. Because it doesn't do anything in the late game. The card's absolutely amazing versus red, but even if you run the full 4 of them on the play, you're still just a 44% chance to have it. Well, that's a cat. Hello, cat. That thing comes back, right? So I'm getting punished for playing these now? Alright, we'll play this one then. So these, 2 of these used to be 2 incendiary flows. Incendiary flows seems like it's obviously better in this match. Do you have an essence scatter, friend? They didn't have an essence scatter. Proceed, my friends, forth and bring back their face. Alright. They still took a fairly big chunk. Or what I'm going to now refer to as a fairly big funk. So they pretty much need a counterspell here and or a fumigating glare. Alright. They had the counterspell. I like how I called it fumigating glare. So they just play Luxa here, I get the attack for 1,000,000. That seems good for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could still have Fumigate. They don't get the mana this turn, but if they have an untap land and Fumigate, that's pretty good for them. Like, I have out still, but like, it's certainly bad for me. Hazoret's good, untap land's good, Glorybringer's good. Like, I have a lot of good draws. Like, I'm still a favorite. Limvala would be bad now, obviously. I probably can't beat a Limvala. And they tap double white, so it's certainly Limvala. Oh, not a Limvala. Card that's much worse than Limvala. So they have to have a Blessing Alliance or something. Because they didn't buy back the cat. So this thing's probably going to die? That thing did not die. I don't know what's going on here. They didn't buy back the cat, they didn't use their mana. Didn't buy back the cat and didn't use their mana. Okay, there's the Limvala. So if I draw a Cropper, I'm going to do 1,000,000 damage to him. If I don't draw a Cropper, I'm in pretty rough shape. I could have drew a Hazoret as well. But I gained 12 life, so that's probably enough to beat me this game. Just go ahead and go on to the next game. I don't think I want any of this stuff. Maybe shocks are okay on the play. They do have Thraben Inspectors too, don't they? That's 4 mana, or 5 mana doesn't really do a lot. What do we got here? Alright, well we have a playable hand, so we'll keep it. Hand's not great. Doesn't beat a lot of things, but I don't think I can mulligan it. Not when I have my best card versus them, and I have a 1-drop and a 2-drop. Well, 1-drop and a turn 2 play, I mean. So, cat would suck for me. Anything other than cat I don't really care about. They had a gain 7 life. That was a terrible draw. They had a gain 7 life play into a gain 5 life play. After Fumigate to clear my board, and their Fumigate let them gain life as well. Yeah, but I'm unlikely to get the Hellbent on turn 4 now. The second Hazoret, especially when I don't have lands, is pretty bad for me. Yep. Not gonna win. Unfortunate. I'm playing 23 lands, so you'd think when you keep 3 you have a decent chance. Drew pretty poorly though, so happens. Deck and stone on that guy. Thank you. I needed a clue. Alright, well. We have a chance. We draw land next turn. We're in good shape. So land and we win. That's not a land. Well, I can't get the cards out of my hand. Oh, that's disappointing. We attack then. Probably win anyway. Think he needs some pretty good cards to beat the Hazard here. Alright, well, let's start with this. Let's bring this one into play. So he needs a counterspell and or a disallow or something. Did I yam it up? Did I yam what up? Huh. I mean, you're dead on board. I don't know why you're making us do all this. Hoping I won't pay the madness cost, I guess? I don't even need the shocks. Hazard didn't even attack. I had 4 mana total. I have a 4-drop and 3 spells that cost 1 red mana each, with only 2 red mana. Anyway, next game. So that's match 1 already, and my latest change didn't seem very good. I cut some incendiary flows for some more abrades. Just testing it out. I'm testing new things in the sideboard too. Still not playing Chandra. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this card might be better than Chandra, main deck. Interested in testing that more and finding out. This hand's pretty good. It's one of our better hands. Yeah, I don't understand how it beats the red deck. Like game 1 feels abysmal for them. Game 2 and 3 they have a ton of sideboard cards, and if they draw their sideboard cards, they're good. But I don't like the fact that you're already giving up game 1, and they're going to be able to play a minimum of game 3. I'll keep. This hand's pretty good. Alright, another Prairie Stream. Could be the same deck. Who knows? It's going to be very bad for us if it's probably the same deck with our land light hand again. Again, I'm playing 23 lands now. We're really wanting to draw lands. Just pretty much every turn. I really just always want to draw lands. This is not going to attack this turn. Doesn't matter how many lands I play. 20, 21, 22, 23, 25. Doesn't matter. I feel like I always need a land to win. I feel like I always need a land to win. Not the same deck. It's still not cool, man. So, I need... Would have been nice to draw. I have 4 Braids main deck. Would have been nice to draw one. Alright, so he left this amount of mana up, so there's about no chance that he doesn't have a Spell Queller of some kind. Pretty close to no chance. Which makes it pretty hard for me to win. Alright. We just attack. Missing the land drop this turn actually hurt. Because I'd like to have shocked pre-combat, and then if he played the Spell Queller, I could have played the Collective Defiance, but... Well, that doesn't work how he wants it to. But we appreciate it, opponent. First strike is fun. We'll go ahead and play the Beaumont Courier post-combat. Oh, I guess I should wait till I get to my post-combat main phase. If he spell quells it, he spell quells it. I'm fine with that. Don't really care. I guess he didn't have a spell queller. Cards have so many words. So you kind of need something here. Well, boys, that's what we call something. And by something, we call it something that's not particularly great. Now the Spell Queller, on the other hand, was great. That was quite frankly probably the best 2 things he could have. How do they always have a Spell Queller on turn 5? Like, they never have to play them early game, they always have them later. So that thing can't block. Yeah, whatever. Huh. I guess I don't attack. If I attack with him, he can just like block, block, and a block. I suppose I'm fine with that. I kill one of his things. Nah. We'll just wait till next turn. Yeah. Do they have the Queller this time? They have to have something. They didn't play a land. I guess it could just be, maybe it's just Stasis Snare? Or it's the Spell Queller we thought they've had the whole time? Yeah, this game's getting unwinnable. That typically happens when they draw their key card and we don't draw a single Abrade, though. We can beat a Westvale Abbey, so the thing we want them to do most is activate the Westvale Abbey? Like that's the one thing we can beat? Can't beat it with a mountain, though. That was literally the one play they can make that we had a chance to beat. We're just dead on board if they don't activate that. Okay, fine with it. Abrade. Right on time, Abrade. Well, we're not Deb, or we're not Dobbs. Guess I could have played better then, I guess? Alright. Cards that are good versus Blue-White Monument. Maybe? Maybe? Definitely? Definitely. They're not playing Archangels, so definitely. I think these are fine as well. I don't know about those though. Cards that don't seem good here. To be honest, my Beaumonts don't seem good here. They have way too many ways to block a Beaumont. Huh. Maybe these just aren't good enough then? If all these doesn't seem good enough. Alright, I'm fine. I think this is supposed to be a favorable match. God, this hand's miserable. But it's a keep. Can't really mulligan a Braid. Kinda want to cut one of my colorless lands for another mountain. As cray-cray as that may seem. Really feel like I just want to cut one of my colorless lands for another mountain. I don't want him blocking. Untap land would be exactly what the doctor ordered. And a pass turn. Well, they picked a bad time to pass turn since I can't actually resolve another spell anyway. This is the second time in 2 matches already that not having another mountain has severely hurt me. Post combat, you say? Could have prevented 3 damage. I think killing the Karl Zev's better than killing the Cropper. Sure. Well, we'd be running over this match if we had lands. Or if even one of these lands was a mountain. It wouldn't have been particularly close. Technically, it's not close yet. He can quell it now. I don't care because we have the braid. Down to 5. So I need something fairly good. That's not good enough. And that's not good enough. Oh. That shit's certainly not good enough then. Don't think I'm going to show him the Glorybringer. I'm just going to kill him with this. Whoops. Need to escalate for 2 modes. Escalate for 3 modes. Might see some of the sideboard options if we do it like this. There's only 4 in the whole deck. Well, there's 5 now, but prior to tonight, there's only been 4 in the entire deck, so. Like, there's not a lot. I added one tonight, but I didn't cut a red source for it. I cut a spell for it. So that shouldn't affect it a lot. But besides that, these 4 are the only 4 colorless. This used to be an incendiary flow, so like that doesn't count against the amount of red sources. Like I have 18 red sources, and I only want 2. But you could be right. I feel like I always want one more. Maybe I just want a 24th land and a 15 mountain. I'm not sure. Like maybe this should be a mountain, the extra land. But if this is a mountain, then I have to add another one of these to the sideboard, so it makes me need different sideboard cards. Anyway, I kind of liked what was going on game 2. I don't really want to cut these because they're so good versus the indestructible threats. Wow, how do I keep drawing 1 land in like my 1,000,000 creature deck? Kind of want to mulligan this. I am probably going to mulligan this. Yeah, those cards just didn't do anything. This hand's better, even though it's only got 1 land. We get to scry and a draw step and a draw step, so we have 3 chances to draw 1 out of 22 lands to have a functionable hand. I think that's worth. Probably going to need an abrade. He kept 7 on the play relatively quickly, so I'm going to assume that I need an abrade. He sideboarded in Dispel versus me. I guess the Falconraft Gorger doesn't get better, so. How do you sideboard in Dispel? Is Dispel really that good? Sure. Show me your Spell Queller. I wouldn't bring Dispel in this match in a million years. Untap land, and if he doesn't have a counterspell, you no, obviously has a Selfless Spirit. Because why wouldn't they have a Selfless Spirit on turn 5 yet again? Well, it's turn 4 this time, but you get the general idea. I think I'm fine letting them trade. I guess I'm not fine letting them trade. Simply because of the Glorybringer. If they didn't have the Glorybringer, I would offer the trade. Okay. Don't care about that. Untap land for the win? Not an untap land. It was a pretty easy win if we had an untap land there. Still have a second draw step to hit it if he doesn't draw a counterspell. That's literally the best possible. He gets to prevent 2 damage, which is fine. I assume we win from here, but it's not guaranteed anymore. We win pretty easy if we hit the Glorybringer, or if we hit the untap land on the previous turn. Well, so he's fumigating, I guess? So the only thing that makes sense here is a fumigate, so I'm blocking. Not a fumigate. Still nearly betting he has a fumigate. What in the hell was that attack? Sure. Opponent went mad versus us. Literal mad. Want to be able to use my deserts next turn if I need to. This puts him at 2 life if he uses the Westville Abbey. So he needs to draw a way to gain life and a way to block the Glorybringer. Sure. Alright. You're allowed to block, friend. And you're gonna sack your things too. Nice. Pink. Opponent's playing a completely, entirely different game to me. I mean, I guess it worked. It was a good bluff. I had to block because nothing made sense other than Fumigate. So it was Fumigate or nothing. He outplayed us on that play. Didn't matter. Didn't draw Monument, died. This deck doesn't really win very often when you don't draw Monument. Rip. I absolutely love this little rip. I'm disappointed that more people don't use it. Subs are the greatest. I need to befriend 36 more people. Need to befriend 36 more people. This deck's kind of fun. I'm pretty sure at the moment the only changes I would have is 2 Chandras over the 2 Firebirds in the sideboard. Maybe 2 Chandras over the Firebird and the Strangler. Not positive about the Blazing Volley, because that's what it takes. It takes 40 people to get a monthly payout. The monthly payouts are the best payouts. Yeah, this hand's fine. For some reason, I thought I had 2 Beaumont Couriers and 1 Soscar Mage. I do not. We were playing versus the Dark Carnfather, and like MTEGO bot has no idea what his record is. I think Zombies is pretty good right now. Zombies is probably what I should be playing. How'd your matches go tonight, Gunner, and what deck did you end up playing? Alright. Opponent kept 7 cards, did not mulligan. We played a turn 1 red spell, and he's fucking done. He's like, need my sideboard to beat this. Well, alright then. I could probably infer from that he's playing something incredibly slow, and like, the haste creatures would be good. But you know what? Opal here can suck it. We ain't sideboarding. Seven cards? Oh lord. This hand's not a keeper. El Mulliganarini. Alright. We've got magic cards. Sure, I'll keep 1 removal in the blind versus anything. It's even okay versus blue-red. It's obviously not ideal versus blue-red, but it's okay. So, he's showing us this. He could be the Sackley deck. Probably not the Sackley deck if he has Neferhub. He's probably just Grixis Control. Well, that's not a Grixis Control card. Not too worried about if he gains 2 life. This attacks for more than that, and at some point we'll try to abrade it. Alright, opponent had enough of that. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? If her hub to play their second double black spell in Kalitas, and then I'm screwed? Did in fact tap it for black. Wasn't a Kalitas though, so. It's a pretty decent attack. We're gonna cycle something? A sensor, sure. Sensor's still good though. What if I just like draw Hazoret next turn? Hello? Hello? Goodbye. Well, that was a good draw for him. We'll go ahead and play the mountain because if I top deck a land, we have Kenra online. Can't really attack through what we see. So Gifted Aetherborn's being pretty good. We only have 7 ways to kill it main deck. We drew 1 already. Let's see if this resolves. If it does, it'll make this a 0-1, so no more Death Touch or Lifelink. He kind of needs to counterspell this. Top. Top. Well, that's a bad sign. Still pretty big hit. We're attacking for 7? You can block 2 of it down to 9? If he has a way to give this guy power, that'd be such a blowout. So even if he has the board wipe here, we've got another Kenra in the graveyard. And if it's like expertise, then we'd have 2 Kenra in the graveyard? Alright. Wasn't a Kenra. Alright, untap land. Should be game if we hit it. Like, not this turn or anything, but it should be game overall. So they go to 2, and we have 1 desert. We also have a profitable attack. Alright, so he's got a way to kill our dudes then? There's no spot removal in the graveyard, so it can't just be a Gearhulk. Gearhulk doesn't do it. Guess he has some way to untap it, I guess. So if he's got a Gear Hulk, he's still dead? Alright. Just play Red Deck Wins, man. Just play Red Deck Wins. Yep, he had to attack because of the untapped desert. Well, I guess he could have had a disallow. I don't know. He didn't have very many options. Well, we've locked up at least a 3-2. Anthony gets to see us win, or Anthony got to see us win at least $2 tonight, with the potential to win more. Oh wow, we're versus a 3-0 and a name I recognize. Fair and fair. Man, who? Lightning Bolt can't kill artifacts. This is so much better than Lightning Bolt. You should be cutting Lightning Bolt out of burn. Take zombies away from Ricky. I think zombies is a good deck. It's definitely what I want to play Friday. One drop. Slow removal spell, good 2-drop thing, and he mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep this. We'd like to hit a land or two and 1 or 2 removal spells, but like, we have a bunch of removal spells. Like, there's 11 removal spells in the deck, so. I think this deals the same amount of damage as the mage because I'm not playing the mage next turn. I'm probably playing the Karl Zev. Well, shit. This still attacks for 3, they attack for 1. This attacks for 3 and can't be blocked. They still just attack for 1, so. Alright, well, we have another opponent that showed us very little and then conceded. What is the green-white deck? These cards seem like they're good versus green-white things. Nah, I'm not bringing these in. Green-white things. What am I going to randomly sideboard out? I choose you two. Glorybringer can't ever be bad, can it? I don't know that I've ever read one of his articles and don't know if I ever plan to. I'm telling you. I have a list of 5 decks that's playable this weekend, and they're all playable versus different fields. Yeah, it's going to be the shortest league ever. Actually, it's still not going to be that short of a league. Alright, that's a walking ballista. Well, that's good. Well, fuck you, buddy. This is only bad if they have a way to give it a +1 counter? Wait, why can't it be black, green, or zombies? First of all, I want to know I know why it can't be Red Deck Wins, but why can't it be the other two? Well, that's a good card. That card's going to cause me some issues. Play you. We'll tell that thing it can't block. Then we'll go over to slap him in the mouth. He's got a sideboard guide out for like 3 matches, and his build's probably extremely inaccurate, at least in my thoughts. Alright. Well, I guess that does something. I can kill Gideon. You can't block. You dead, friend. You for Gideon, you for Gideon, you for his mouth, you for his mouth. Just because they're the same deck doesn't mean they're bad. Also, I don't think that deck should have Kalidas in it, so I think it's probably closer to 75 out of 75. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, and then my dude would live. Is there any reason to kill his guy? I don't think there's any reason to kill his guy. Well, he's got a stasis snare. That's good for him. We draw a runner land. We're probably in great shape. Was this collective finance a good draw? I like how it lives through Avacyn. Like, even if he has Avacyn, he's still dead. Because this card is much, much, much better than Village Messenger. Much. We've played probably 70 games of this deck at the moment, and like, this card is so much better than Village Messenger that it's sad. Village Messenger's better in exactly one match, I think. Well, I guess one match is hyperbole. It's better versus all the Gearhulk decks, I think. What's your pet deck, Timph? Still just not playing Chandra's. We're playing like a big bird though. That's close enough to Chandra, right? .4-0 today, but we've ran pretty hot, I think. Take care, Aunt. Ooh, what? Bed is 3:30, you friggin' little kid. You know, go suck from your mom's teat while you're at it. I think an Emerge deck went 5-0 yesterday. I don't understand. Can you explain to me why we want insult and injury in the Emerge list? Because that's something I've not figured out yet. I've seen several of them lately running the insult and injury and don't quite understand it. Like, I like insult and injury even. I've played it. I play it in our pet deck, our Riddle Form deck, but like, doesn't make sense to me in the Emerge deck. Oh, by the way, for anybody new here, you can click down below and there's a link to my Twitter. And on my Twitter, all my deck lists and every time I go live's posted. just feel like the deck is so clogged as it is. Like I feel like there's more than 70 cards that I already want in my main deck. And we have some 1-drops. We have a mediocre removal, but we have 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop if we draw a land over our next 3 turns. So I don't think we can mulligan this. Versus potentially zombies. I clicked this like 3 times. Okay, there we go. Against on Injury is a good card. The flashback of it after putting it in your graveyard obviously got value, but like, all right. Like I've not tested it any. This is just like thoughts in my head, so grain of salt and all that. Well, unfortunately, we didn't draw any of our 9 2-mana removal spells, so if he just untaps and has his 1 or 2 of Rishkar, we're in really bad shape. We're in less bad shape, but obviously still not great. I'll go ahead and play this one, and I'm going to go ahead and jam this. Don't like our odds right now, though. I'm willing to trade this for his one thing. This is a match that drawing your removal spells is pretty vital in. Oh wow, I am so grateful to get to kill that walking ballista like that. I put 0 value on my mage whatsoever. No, I think it's the black green, one of the black green energy lists. I've seen a few of the black green like mid-range lists and energy lists and delirium lists running Sifter lately. Like it's kind of a good card again. Yeah, it's picking up a lot of popularity because it's good. Anything that comes out and puts like 2 threats out versus a table is just super randomly good at the moment. So I don't have a good attack here no matter what. I'll take that back. My attack's fine. He's going to kill my one thing, which is going to suck. This is another example of why I think Collective Defiance is better main deck than Chandra. If this was a Chandra, it would have only killed the Walking Ballista, and it would have died. So I can attack here. He still can't kill Karl Zev, so it's 1 point of damage. Agreed. Entirely agreed. Gotta block it with both, buddy. I get your silent if you want to do that. It's probably better just to save 2 damage. There you go. You figured it out. Better just to save the 2 damage. Alright, I guess he is the other deck. So we need another Collective Brutality would obviously be about the best thing I could draw. So if I attack with this, he can just gang block it with a bunch of things. He has to put this on it though. Is it worth trading this for 1 random thing? Alternatively, I could just shoot this and attack. And this is going to pick off something every turn if I do that. So not a good option here, so that makes it difficult. I think I may wait. Well, I'm pretty sure Party's deck's like really only good versus red, and there's not a lot of red in that room. I probably could have attacked there if I really wanted to. Oh, sure. I guess I'm glad I didn't attack then. Alright. What is that? Is that the one that can sack things and give it haste? And that's just a way to get the cutthroat going? Alright, we'll kill the cutthroat then. He doesn't have particularly good attacks if we do this. Pretty hard for us to draw out of this though. On the positive note, our blazing volleys are going to be insane in this match. How good blazing volley would be right now. Hazoret would be good too. I've not drawn a Hazoret in several rounds. Our flyers have to be good in this match. So, well, that card doesn't seem like it does anything here. I really need to draw a Hazoret on the ASAPs. I think if we draw a Hazoret, we probably win. Well, sack one thing, put one thing on top. That's pretty strong. I didn't care about what he put on top. I wouldn't have put that card on top. Maybe I don't understand what his deck's doing. I would have looked for a payoff card. I think getting more tokens doesn't really do anything in that spot. I'm gonna hold that for fuel to sacrifice or to throw to the Hazoret if we ever do draw it. Is this non-token? Oh, another creature. It is not non-token. Just looking for a Haz. Haz is all we need. Might not be enough, but it's what we need. See, sacrifice two things and still put on the bottom. And then hit the card that he's willing to put on top anyway. Seems like a decent amount of luck. Alright. Well, we're getting closer. If that counts for anything, we're getting closer. I actually thought this card was better than it was. I thought it gained the counters. But something of mine has to die for it too. You put on top that time? Duskwatch Recruiter. Alright, well that's goodish. Another desert would be great. That'll do. Kills one thing a turn, I guess. Killing something doesn't really do anything, though, does it? I don't think killing things does anything. I'd rather just hold it back for a blocker for the Undying. Basically, we're just hoping he doesn't get the Zulaport Cutthroat. He doesn't have a whole lot of turns to get to it. He got Sifter on both of his recruiters. So, Little Desert or Shock's probably our best two cards. That's neither of them. I guess technically a Incendiary Flow was the best card. Alright. Well. Yeah, Cutthroat or Westville Abbey. He needs a way to gain life, and he needs it fairly quickly. Of course, we might, depending on how many things he has to scry to get to the Westville Abbey, there's a chance we could beat a Westville Abbey. We had outs to win the game on that turn, though. We had at least one Incendiary Flow, and we had at least 2 more Sunscorched Desert. So we had 3 outs to him not even getting another draw. He's thinking awful hard on this one. I don't think there's a lot to think about. I think it's either just one of those 2 cards or you ship it. If he keeps anything that doesn't gain life, we can win with any Incendiary Flow, any Collective Defiance, or any Sunscorch. So we'll have, or any Shocks. We'd have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bottom again. Bottom again. So I guess he has to sack something else. If he misses like 2 more times, we can even beat a Westville. Alright, that's one brick. If he misses this time, I might be able to beat a Westville. Alright. So I guess he's decided it's Westville or nothing. Alright, something's on top. We can definitely beat a Westville. Okay. Alright. Well. Not really sure I approve of him keeping that card. Well, we have a lot of outs. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight just wins. Yeah, I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 8. It's 8 just wins. So we got a reasonable draw at it. And if we miss this, really another hazard, I guess we just lose then. Alright, I guess we just lose then because he can't miss this many times. Because the Crypto Fright gives him that many draws with the Recruiter. Yeah. Sometimes you miss 3 turns in a row. Catacomb Sifter doesn't do it. The one cool thing about the Duskwatch Recruiter is he can't get the Westville Abbey with it. There's some chance we can beat the other card. Walking Ballista doesn't do anything. Loam Dry doesn't do anything. Alright, he put on top. Whatever this is what does something. Alright. I might be able to beat that card, but I doubt it. No, we can't beat that card anymore. Well, let me concede. There we go. Hey, one card away. Alright, what seems good here? All the flyers seem good here. To be honest, that kind of seems good here too. Like, literally all the flyers just seem good here. The blazing volleys seem good here. What doesn't seem good here? Croppers kind of don't seem good. I'm probably not attacking on that turn anyway. Hazards surprisingly don't seem particularly good. All of these one drops don't seem great. Beaumont Courier doesn't seem great. Falcon Raft Gorger seems terrible. My deck seems real bad in this match, doesn't it? Yeah. But we're going to have to play some of the cards that we don't want no matter what. So on to play, maybe you're good enough. Still think Hazard seems kind of bad. I don't know, I guess Hazard kills something every turn. Eh. These X ones don't seem great. They seem like they trade at best. Get rid of some of the X ones. Those seem fine. Those all seem fine. This gives me a flyer that I can pump. I can also pump this. I guess that seems fine. I'm just getting rid of the X ones. Oh wait, I don't really want these out here, do I? Not without X ones. Huh. My deck looks horrible here. I just don't want any of these cards. So I mean I get to bring the Hazards back in? Alright, I've only got 6 seconds, so I'm just going to submit something. I think I only have like 53 cards in this match that I even want. It seems fine. It seems pretty terrible actually. I need to draw like 3 lands and spells that matter at all. Needing to draw 3 lands and irrelevant spells seems like pretty thin. Sure. Seems like it beats this deck. Probably doesn't even beat zombies, because I probably have a Lord and just give them haste on that last game, for example. There's a Cryptoglyph routes, that's good for me. Wonder if it's worth using this. If I use this, he's going to kill this. I can get better value out of that later. Wonder what he's got. Oh. Yeah, that's something. That's something, fam. I guess let's start with this, so that he doesn't get to do any drawing. My mouse is kind of sticking a little. Sure. He's gonna kill one of my dudes. Alright. Well, if I cast Blazing Volley, I get to save my Earthshaker, and he gets to still just play whatever next turn, so I don't think I'm going to bother with it. I think I'm just going to attack and let him kill the Eldrazi if he wants. I don't think my Earthshaker is really getting any better, and I think having them in the graveyard is kind of better than having them in play. Alright, so he just doesn't have anything that matters? Okay, there we go. There's a card that we want to kill. There we go. Sure, he gains a bunch, that's fine, nobody cares. Strangled? What's strangled? I think it would have saved the Earthshaker because it would have held him off black mana, which is what I was thinking. Well, I was kind of hoping to hit a land there. That's fine. Willing to trade the Strangler for all three of his things. Oh, it's the Strangler, yeah. That's probably better. I could have casted a Braid and Plus on this turn. That's a good draw. That's a good draw, too. Land? Not a land, but potentially good enough depending on what they have. Has no flyer, so not going to exert. And so they have like one turn to draw a Westvale Abbey or another Cutthroat. Alright. Played the game poorly, got there anyway. I think you're right. I think I should have definitely strangled the turn before. Alright, back to looking at the sideboard. I still just don't want any of my cards at all. Ever. Like, all my cards just seem real bad. All my cards just seem real bad. I think they have like 5,000 blockers. Like on turn 4, they usually have too many blockers for it to do anything. I think I'd pretty much have to beat them with my flyers. I could be wrong. One land hand. This is not going to be a keeper. I can't remember the last time I've kept more than 5 cards in a game 3 and a round 5. Yeah, the Courier doesn't seem good. I was thinking, at worst case, I just thought the Courier was the cycle for the mid-game. Well, I guess we'll keep this hand, even though this hand's terrible. I'm not going to go to 5, not when I have Blazing Volley, which is what I consider the best card in this match, and I have both of my Blazing Volleys. Alright. Walking Ballista doesn't do anything on its own, so let's wait and see if he gets a Catacomb Sifter or anything before we kill it. He may just play some like more X ones or whatever, and we clean him up with Blazing Volley. That's fine. We'll take one. He gets to go up a mana on display, but we still have the second Blazing Volley, which I think is fine. He still doesn't have mana, so maybe this Hazoret can go to town if he doesn't hit the Black Source. He tapped and untapped? Sure. But if we draw a land next turn, Hazoret can start attacking. Cryptolithrites is a good draw for him. Sure. I'm going ahead and killing his land because of the Cryptolithrites. It would have been a black mana. Really just wanted him off the black mana. Was the main reason we did that. It should be game because we have a removal spell, but he could play, or he could draw like the black land and be able to slam something of double blockers. Well, I got a 5-0 to start tonight. I guess that's good. By the way, thanks for watching Gosmet. I'm going to say it's a Gosmet. Don't know if I've noticed you chatting before. Ooh, Samson. I think we'll run a second one. I think people are getting tired of watching the red deck though, but the red deck keeps bringing me us results. Sweet! I'm kind of a redneck and I don't pronounce things particularly well. No, I like the red deck. It's definitely the strongest deck in the format, but it's so overplayed and people get paired versus it so much that I just feel like people don't really want to watch it. Like a week ago, my red YouTube videos were getting like 100, 120 hits. Now they're getting like 25. I think people are just over watching it. Like they're tired of our red oppressors. A lot of solid streamers on tonight, though. And obviously, by our amazing layout and wonderful graphics, that we're clearly one of them. You can thank this Corey Coolcat. He is the graphics editor for my Twitch stream and my YouTube channel. He is available to do work for other people as well. I love harassing Corey. Corey tries so hard uh, to help me, and I'm just like, I'm lazy. He did make our remote, though. And our remote's pretty sweet. Looks really nice on the black background. Very medium hand. We have a removal spell into a 3-drop. We got 5/2 drops. We'll try it. Don't know if this is a keep. No. Well, we're absolutely wrecked. We're going to have to draw very well, especially since our red sources are all damage dealers. At least our opponent's going to go up a game in this quest for the pity chest. I like to say pity chest a lot, by the way, because I'm usually trying my best to get the pity chest. Well, I'm ready to take my damage, opponent. You can just press F6 now. Opponent's playing correct mountain. Mountain looks so good when you really look at it. Yeah, this is not going to go well. Doobie doobie doo. Uh-oh. Mountain? I don't even know if I want a mountain. I like how turn 3, the plan's probably going to be playing a crasher to a block. Actually, it could be playing a Blowmont and a second Abrade. Lots of options. Tink, 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 tink. Blazing Volley, please? Not a Blazing Volley. Oh wait, they're not in my deck, I forgot. Just in case he wants to get rid of it, he's got to give up his card for the turn for it. Well, he likes the 3 cards in his hand better. Well, that's not good for me. Shock wouldn't be a bad draw. Alright, well at least we can play it. This is the 3rd damage from our lands. The 4th damage from our lands. So we'd be at 11 right now if we'd drawn just a couple mountains. If we were at 11, I think we'd have a reasonable chance. Don't know if we'd be favored, but I think we'd have a reasonable chance at 11. Feel them having 4 or 3 cards in hand and them not being lands. I think it's pretty hard for us to have a chance at 7. I guess he could have drew a land for the turn. He didn't play a land last turn, though. Alright, that's a shock. Which means he about has to have 2 removal spells, because I don't think you would shock that one if you wasn't killing 2 things. So we're down to 3. And we're dead. Alright, well. So I've been struggling to sideboard with this deck. It's been particularly annoying for me. My build's slightly different than other people's builds. Generally, I would be taking out the messengers, but we don't play the messengers anymore. So we're going to start with seeing what we want to bring in. We definitely want to bring in the Blazing Volleys. We definitely want to bring in the Chandra's Defeats. We definitely want to bring in the Pias. We definitely want to bring in the Harvesters. I also think we definitely want to bring in the Sand Stranglers. So that causes us quite a bit of issues. The Defiances are probably too slow. The Croppers don't seem particularly good. The Incendiary Flow doesn't seem particularly good. So that leaves us at kind of a point to where I feel like I need to take out more cards, but I don't really have more cards to take out. This card might not be that great on the draw. It's one of our only ways to kill Hazoret, though, or even deal with Hazoret. It's probably not good enough. Especially when we took out the Collective Defiance already. Alright. We'll try it like this. Kind of a mixture of aggression and not. Alright, well, we'll keep this. Hand's fine, but nothing special. As usual, we want to hit a few lands. We have 23, though. Went 2-2 versus the Mirror yesterday. So, still just want to hit a couple lands. That is our goal. All the lands. Wouldn't mind to hit 2 lands in a row. I don't think there's a lot of skill in this mirror match. I think it's a lot about who's just going to draw better. Well, we didn't hit a land, but we did hit one of our better threats at least. We technically still have time to hit lands. That's Pia. Pia's pretty solid. Of course, still don't have another land. Well, if I have to kill something, I guess I would rather kill the Pia itself. It's only bad if they have exactly a second Pia. Oh, they've drawn double our lands, so our odds have gone down drastically. Sure. Wasn't blocking anyway. I guess at this point I would rather them block with the Copter than the Earthshaker. Because they're getting close to 6 lands. So they drew triple removal spell and double air lands. It's pretty good out here. And a Hazard. Well, that's fun. Thank you for the host, The Bone Show. And can we draw Runner Runner land? We still have a chance. And no Magic was played. Don't feel like we played Magic game 1 or game 2. It's one of the reasons I think this format's going to suck so bad. Now we're going to try to salvage just a pity chest. And no lands again. No lands again. Alright, I guess we'll keep our 5-card hand. Don't want to abrade. Well, we had a lot of good luck in our first tournament. Now we're having a lot of bad luck, so guess it evens out a little bit. I'd rather just have average luck across the board. They showed us basic planes, so I'm pretty sure I'm favored versus every basic planes deck, but probably not when I have so few cards. Sure. Alright, well. Options are limited. Rip. Sure. No, not dead yet. He's only got 2 lands. We draw something like a Collective Defiance or something, we're probably still going to win this game fairly easily. We just have to hit it. Even drawing a removal spell is good if they miss again. So any removal spell's good, any hazard's good. Anything that lets him not block's good. Now we need a removal spell? No. We're just going to flood out. It's kind of annoying to draw 8 lands out of your top 16 when you mulligan to 5 because you didn't see a land. And then our opponent talks crap because he missed a land drop. That's always fun too. I think all of this flying stuff's decent versus them. I don't think it's great. Like, they have Gazella, so that makes that card less exciting. Hmm. Literally like every card in my deck. What card is my worst card? I didn't have 6 mana. I wasn't close to 6 mana during all of those turns except for the very last one. Wonder if this card's not good enough. Because it does some things. The Gorger does some things. Hmm. I like every card in my deck. By a lot. The Cropper may not be good enough. Let's get rid of these. Yeah, but it wasn't even an out then. Like, even if I play it, he still has the 2 Lifelinker, Vigilance, in the air. My outs was drawing removal spells. And if I was playing removal spells, I didn't have enough mana to use the Kenra anyway. Or like my out was drawing a Hazret and being able to attack every turn. Keep this. This hand's reasonable. If he doesn't have a Fraben Inspector, this hand's actually very good. If he does have a Fraben Inspector, it gets a lot worse. No Fraben Inspector. Well, that's good. Could have played the Beaumont and the Falcon Raft to get another point of damage there, but if I draw a Mountain, I can play double spell next turn like this. And I assume that I have to play the Raid next turn anyway. We just really just want to hit a land. Gives us a chance to like draw shock too and be able to play a double spell. Well, that's miserable for me. So fun to miss land drops. I don't think this match is losable if I draw lands. Alright. Well, we don't care about that. Missing a land drop yet again. Fun. Still have 4 2-mana answers to the Gazella if that's what he has. Alright, sweet. Not a Gazella at least. Alright, we have a lot of answers to that for 2 mana. We can draw any shock as well. Well, that doesn't do it. Offer him to trade. Can't really do anything about it. We didn't hit a removal spell. We're still just on 2 lands. So he's at 2 going to 6. Have a lot of draws that win then? Yep. So, any removal spells enough? Sorry, any 2 mana removal spells enough. That's obviously not a 2 mana removal spell. Have to get lucky. Yeah, that's fine. You're not going to win games where you only draw 2 lands. Kind of a tilt. Again, didn't get to make any decisions out of their game. That's how we lost round 1 as well. Pretty frustrating to get mana screwed 4 games in a row. I can't make it to where Gazella can't block. The Earthshaker Kenya only can get things with less power than it. Still Guts. I wonder if this is Flame Guts. Hey, we have lands this game. It's especially frustrating to get mana screwed when I added a 23rd land to the deck today. Feels like it doesn't matter. Yeah. Cool. Another polarized draw. We get 5 lands this time. Is this the Sultai type deck? Make that 6. I imagine I'm getting K returned here. Not K returned. Sure. Well, that's not the deck I expected. It's based on what we're looking at. I guess it's T-Mersion. Sure. This Hazard's not going to do anything. Have to kill that to try to prevent him getting Deep Fiends online. The Hazard doesn't get to attack for next turn no matter what. Guess I could have drawn like a burn spell or a 2-drop and been able to attack next turn, but doesn't seem reliable. Don't care if he has Decay return. Think he had it the other turn anyway. gonna be hard to win now. Pretty much anything they draw is gonna be good enough. They took a Deep Fiend. Deep Fiend's probably gonna be good enough. If they have drawn the Ishkana, it's definitely good enough. They don't have Delirium yet though, so it's at least something. It's like not nothing at least. But that Abrade was a terrible draw. Grapple. So that's an instant. They already had an instant. So now they have an instant, sorcery, land, enchantment. So they can definitely Deep Fiend. They took an E for Hub though. So Traverse for Spooter, I guess. Oh wow, they're gonna take this? What the heck does that do? You can't even emerge off of it. You're one shy. You played your land, haven't you? Yep, you played your land. It's dead in here tonight. Alright. Bring at least a Scavenging Ooze. The Flyers seem okay, but he is going to have Ishkana. Meh. I wonder if these are okay on the draw. They're probably better on the play. This hand's reasonable. It's certainly not good. It's not even close to good. Well, that wasn't a good draw either. The one drops are probably the least good cards in this match. Go ahead and offer him to trade. There's like a million things to play anyway. Hand's okay. Hand's got some chances, like if they don't have K returned. 4.5 hours. Well, we won't. We're playing 3 more rounds, so we're good on that behalf. Short. So that would have been a lot better on the play. I don't want to draw that card at all. Anyway, this stops submerge, as we've already stated, and at this point it gets damage in too. Not a lot, unfortunately. I have a lot of spells on the deck, though. Shock could potentially be the best spell in the deck from here. Well, that's not a shock, so I place no value on my mages at all. Literally places 0 value on these because he has K returns. Grapple. What's he got going on over there? He's got creature, instant land. Huh. Guessing he's deep fiending then? Tapping my creatures. Interesting. Yeah. Whatever. K return. We'll crush. I won't necessarily win, but it'll crush. Champion of Wits doesn't do much. I mean, it filters him. It can let him hit things, but by itself it doesn't do much. Discarded 2 removal spells. Guess that means he has to have K return? He shouldn't be letting me try to draw to a Shocker and a Braid? Alright. He did not let me draw to Shocker or Braid. Good man. Hazard would be a great draw. Still doesn't have Delirium, so I'm just not going to play around at Ishka. Hey Dumbo, what's up man? So Hazard's still a great draw. Hazard will most likely win if we draw it. That's not a Hazard. That doesn't do anything. Alright, we're dead. Double K return, and we had to get that kind of draw for it to matter. Alright. On the play, I think these cards are good again. Probably a little bit better than... Probably a little bit better than these guys. Yeah, fine with that. Just want as much removal as I can to keep him off of his thing. It's just another miserable draw. We're 5-2. We 5-0'd the first event, and we've not had lands the other two events. Or the other two matches. This game we easily won round one. In game two we drew like 47 one drops that just don't really do anything in this match. And in game three we get this kind of draw, which isn't particularly good. If he has any removal spell, it's just stone bad. Yeah, he had to have a stone removal spell. So we're about to be 0-3, probably. We'd have a pretty reasonable chance, I think, if we had double mountain. But we don't have double mountain, so this is the lot that we live. I think I need to point a damage on my turn bad enough that I'll probably wait if he plays a removal spell. Well, he didn't even play a removal spell, so. Well, our mono red deck's drawn 2 creatures and 10 cards. Should have drawn a little over 4. Cool. Also, I got the most reactive hand I've ever had versus an opponent who's not playing any spells at all. Literally just playing a friggin' 3/3 for 4 mana. Rip. Opponent has now drawn more removal spells than we have creatures. Always a bad sign. I think it's Hazard or Bust. Fair. That would not have been a May back in the old days. He's not lost yet. Like, we still have a chance to win this game. Excuse me. Ah, it's a Rogue Refiner. Good spell, friend. Huh. I guess I'm gonna play that. It's only bad if he sideboarded in counter spells. Only bad if he sideboarded in counter spells. Have 6 damage in play. Doesn't have enough mana to play a thing. Got a Rogue Refiner back. That's good for us. It doesn't even block. Well, that's even better for us. Like how we drew our mono removal spell hand versus the opponent that just didn't play anything the whole time. Alright, boys, we did it. We're on the board. We've gotten mana screwed a lot this event, but like I was saying earlier, we got very lucky last event in a few spots, so like this is just a luck evening out. I'm not sure how I feel about the braids in the deck so far. I'm trying them over incendiary flows. The last build, or the build that we played yesterday, had 4 flows, 2 braids. Now we're trying 4 braids, 1 flow. So that's kind of a change. It's not been great so far. I don't think we've killed an artifact yet. Thank you for following, Lukey. You should also click the link below and follow my Twitter as well. It'd be great. Alright, we'll play first. Got another 5-land hand? I still think you can keep those hands. It's obviously better than this hand, though. Alright, well, we'll keep it. It's miserable. I think this is the... I don't know. This is at least the second, possibly third time I've mulliganed to 5 this event. It's pretty much just saying the game's over when you do that. I don't know, he could be playing a very slow deck that has a mediocre draw and I hit 3 lands in a row. No fatal push, please. Drat. I said no fatal push. I didn't say leave up fatal push mana. Is it bad that I'm going to throw Collective Defiance at his face just in case I draw a land? Just in case I draw a land so Hazoret can attack next turn. If I don't draw it, he can kill whatever he plays anyway. Well, providing it's not like Walking Ballista or something. Should have probably did that during my draw step. That's fine. Didn't draw the land anyway. Oh wow, he's letting me draw a card this time if I want. Still looking for. It's like a race. Do I get my fourth land or does he get his third land first? Well, question is asked and answered. Asked and answered. If he has a grasp, like I'm still in pretty rough shape here. I'm not dead if he has a grasp because I can draw more hazards and stuff, but like I'm certainly not in good shape if he has it. That's not a black mana. Alright. Of course, he had it. So this thing can become a 3/3. Which one of these do I care more about? I guess I care more about this one. He's got 5 cards in hand, so I don't think I'm winning either way. Killing the cub lets him scry. But I can technically use this on the Catacomb Sifter. Well, if he's attacking with it, that's good for me, right? I don't see how I can win anyway when I mulligan to 5, but who knows? Mulligan to 5 versus a bad match that's playing mediocre cards that are good versus me. Like, this isn't good in the meta, but it's obviously good versus me, so. Well. I guess that's fine. Maybe he doesn't have a Fatal Push. No blocky for you, friend. Like, I can still win, though. Like, I definitely have outs, especially if he doesn't have a Fatal Push on this draw step. It's like, have a minimum of 1 Incendiary Float, it can still win. So at the very minimum, we have an Incendiary Flow. And at the maximum, we have quite a few other things. Depending on how his turn goes. So if he attacks, even a Crasher kills him. Well, he's leaving himself. Oh, he's leaving himself dead to a Crasher. He's leaving himself dead to a Shock. That's not a Crasher or a Shock. I think our opponent's made a lot of mistakes. It doesn't matter because we're short 2 cards. Still gives him a chance to punt this turn. I could have attacked last turn and at least got 1 damage in. Well, that's not enough to win, is it? Just blocks, and I'm dead. Sure. Show me a grasp and we're done here. So if I block, I still take 7. Maybe he's not done the math. Take 9 with the Quagmire even. Sure. Well, that's disappointing. I felt like we were going to win that game. Felt pretty massively ahead most of that game. Anyway, versus these decks, I think all the flyers are pretty good. I think for the most part, the Gorgers aren't great. I think some of the Shocks ain't great. This is a match where I'd rather have Chandra than Firebird, but don't own Fire. Great. Alright, well, this hand can't possibly win. If I was at a Pro Tour playing for a high prize, I would not keep this 6-card hand. But I'm just not going to mulligan the 5 in the league. When I have playable spells anyway. The risk is less than the reward at this spot. That's a bad sign. That means he's got a removal spell. Can play double spell next turn if I do it like this. So he's probably going to prevent 3 damage, but he'll still take 3. Hopefully he kills the Raider. It's better to kill the Raider, I think. You tapped a green, friend. Tap to green again, friend. There you go. At least this versus a match that we're not particularly favored versus that we get some more miserable draws. Interesting. Don't know why they took that. They tapped mana and untapped mana and then didn't play anything? And they showed us a land that we'd already saw? Not particularly good versus me, but that's fine. Alright, let's draw our good card. That's not our good card. That's just a 5th land in 10 cards. After we mulligan because we didn't draw lands. Which is basically the exact thing that's happened to us round 2 and or round 1 and 2 as well. They left up mana. Had to kill it to play the Kenra. They pretty much have to have a removal spell. Sure. Don't know if that's worth it when he already knows I'm playing Collective Defiance. I don't mind putting the Kenra in the graveyard. It's better if we flash it back, and if he doesn't have a Blossoming Defense, we get to kill the Cub too. If he does have a Blossoming Defense, oh well. When you're this far behind on cards, you don't really get to make a lot of sweet decisions. You just have to hope. Alright, well, that doesn't do anything. For example, I hope he plays a Sneaky Snake and not an 8/8. Well, that's neither of those things. That's a Beaumont. So we flooded out on the first couple turns when all we needed was like one more spell to really leverage an advantage, and then when we need the one more land, we miss it over 4 draw steps now. Five draw steps. Have some insurance for the big guy now, though, so that's kind of good. Thank you, Moda, for popping that up in the middle of a game when we're playing Magic. He's flooding pretty terribly too, though, so I can't say a whole lot. Sure. Just sit here and go back and forth till one of us draws whatever wins the game. Whatever trump spell they are that wins the game. That was what we call a good one. I'm not going to bring back the Kenner. He's got 2 different Quagmires anyway. We'll bring it back post-combat just as a 4/4 though. I'll attack with it next turn when I have the braids. Walking Ballista's a great draw here. That's the 13th mana. Well, we knew we were right. We knew. I thought it was a Walking Ballista. That's pretty close to about the best draw you could have. It's pretty punished if he waits though. Could have held the mount in the cycle, but Sure. I get to save one of my guys. Which puts him down to 6. I could have cast a Collective Defiance there, but probably should have cast a Collective Defiance there. I could have put him at 2. Yeah, putting him at 2 was right. That was a play mistake by me. Should have 100% put him at 2. It could be a game costing play mistake even. That was really bad of me. Not punished in the least, but it was really bad of me. I could get punished still. It's kind of hard to get punished, though. Like, exactly Gearhulk and the Grasp, I think, are the only things that really punish me. Alright, he's attacking with the Quag, so he's dead to the Has. Unfortunately, this is just game 1, or game 2 rather. We didn't get to play game 1. So I still have to win this game on the draw versus that deck. Which doesn't seem like a particularly easy task. Just doesn't seem like a very easy task. Not going to change anything. Like, there's some argument that the Stand Stranglers could come in here, but I don't really want them. We need to keep. We need to win this game though to keep the pity chest alive. Oh, sweet, another 1 land hand. I don't even know why I put extra land in my deck. I had the same type of draws even with just 1. Or when I had 21, I'm getting the same draws as I had at 23. I can't tell a difference. At least not on Moto. Alright, well, we don't have a removal spell, which means we probably can't win. I'm going to keep it. I don't want it. Obviously just want lands, but versus a snake deck, if you don't have an answer for a turn 2 snake, you have no chance. So I feel like I'm forced into keeping that, even though I don't want it. Don't want it remotely. And it may not even be good. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Well, that's good. That's the one spell I didn't care about on that turn. It's only bad if he has Rishka. Only bad for me if he has Rishkana. And then it's not even that bad. It just trades for the Skullscour Mage. I guess if he has Rish, it would stop me from playing Earthshaker next turn. Yeah, that's good. Kind of interesting, because, like, this card's very good versus them, but they have the braids and stuff, so I think I'm just going to use this. Then again, this is my answer to Kalatos, which is a more immediate threat. So he can trade this to prevent 2 damage if he wants. It doesn't really do much more than that. Doesn't do much more than that this turn, I'll rephrase. Could do more than that next turn. It could prevent 3 damage, but like I get the 2 damage this turn, the 2 damage on the next turn, so like I don't know. Seems to me like he might want it to have done that. We probably need to draw an untap land next turn exactly to win. Or to have a chance to win. Might not even win. That's probably what we need to even have a chance to win, though. Another ballista? Sure. So his plan now is to sack things. Alright, well, it was a thing. I think it's better to do this and try to get him to use any grasp in his hand. Oh, that was great. If his last 2 cards are untap land Gear Hulk, we're in soup's bad shape. Might have been better just to play this on hindsight. Yeah, his last 2 cards were exactly Gear Hulk and a land. That's great. Still have 3 more braids we can draw. And we're dead next turn. Dead on board. Felt like the opponent had pretty close to his perfect draw. And we mulliganed. Didn't really play on curve. Didn't really do very well, but that's fine. So we're now 6-3 on the night. Yeah, 6-3 on the night. We typically go about 7-3 of this deck most nights, so anywhere in the 7-3, 6-4, 8-2 range is about average of what we normally do. Would tell the new viewers to look down below and follow my Twitter, but I think I've had 1 follow the whole night, so maybe 2. I think I had 2. So it's pretty dead in here tonight. Anyway, 1 more round. We mulliganed to 5 in so many of these rounds. Hopefully we at least steal this last round. Pop up the deck. 5-0 and a 2-3 is still reasonable, I guess. Excuse me. Again, these two cards should be Chandra. Never drew them, so it didn't affect anything, but... So, argument that these two cards should be Chandra, but I don't really think so. I think I like them being a 3 to 4 mana spell instead. Alright, well, we get to play first. One land again, Jesus. I don't think I can mulligan it. Or sorry, one creature again in the 26 creature deck. Which is less likely than a one land hand. Sure. Yeah, the client's fine. I'm just running real poor. Like I said earlier, though, we got a 5-0 in the first league tonight, and I got some pretty good luck in that league, so it's just evening out a little bit. Well, that's a bad sign for me that he's not playing a spell here. I don't think I need all of these braids and crap. I assume he's got a removal spell, but he's playing the Teamer or Merge deck, so I'm just not going to need that many spells. In fact, I'm not even going to play the Falcon Raft because of the potential of a K return. I'm literally willing to discard the 3 cards in my hand for 3 random cards versus his deck. Alright, well, he didn't have another land, I guess. That's fine. If he's playing the Emerge deck, which is what I assume, these are pretty decent. Because they fly, they go tweet, tweet, tweet. I don't think I want them on the draw, though. By the time you get to 5 mana, they're usually tapping down your mana. Alright, mulligan. It's a reasonable hand. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. Really have to have removal spells to beat their type of deck, though, so we're going to hope we hit a removal spell in the next 3 draw steps or whatever. Or I guess next 3. Yeah, the program doesn't really mirror paper Magic, but like it's still fair in a way. The more non-basic lands and stuff you play, like the less chance you have of hitting things. But other than that, I mean, rip. Go little guy that doesn't help. So we need a removal spell now. Didn't get there. We'll go ahead and play this under any type of counter spell. Oh, so he's playing a ramp deck. I had no idea he was even playing ramp. Probably just dead on board now then. Can't imagine beating a ramp deck. He would have to have incredibly poor draws. Well, you made that easier for me. Well, thank you for the extra Beaumont. Sure, apparently we're racing. I didn't realize we were racing. I guess he has World Breaker then? Jotty. Oh, Jotty. Sure. I guess he won the race pretty easily, didn't he? Not a lot getting crushed versus the old ramp. So am I dead? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guess I'm not dead. I don't have any draws that can win though. How you doing today? Let's just look at a little bit more of his deck before we concede. Okay, he's got the life gain thing too. Well then, if he's playing ramp, which we didn't know he was playing after game 1 because he conceded too early, all of those cards become considerably better, and a lot of our burn spells become considerably worse. I just don't really want to draw these burn spells very much. I have to keep some of them though. I wonder if the shocks are better or the collective defiances are better. Probably the shocks. Just hitting land seems better. Alright, so game 3, we actually know what our opponent's playing this game. Nice. Nice. So you're playing the horse deck now? Alright, again, we don't get any lands. I like how I added extra lands to my deck today, yet I've still mulliganed almost... Yeah, a 40 is great. I've literally mulliganed almost every game this entire tournament, even though I added extra lands to my deck. It's kind of a tilt. Easily went 5-0 to first league. Got lucky in a few spots, but like none of the matches felt hard. And I felt like I haven't got to play Magic any of the 5 rounds of this league. Even the round we won, I felt like I've not got to play. They have their best card versus me. And I don't have any land, even though I have the card in my hand to deal with it. Nice. We got paired versus it once today. Well, it's not even all night. I mean, I did 5-0 to first league tonight. Obviously. I have 24 land in the deck right now. Think getting a second wouldn't be super complicated. Right on time, land. That's in the ramp deck? Alright. Guess I haven't lost yet. I'm just not in good shape. Still has 3 cards in hand and 19 life. I added an extra land to the main deck, and I changed some of the sideboard up. I also cut 3 incendiary flows, 3 incendiary flows. I cut the 3 incendiary flows for 2 of braids and an extra land, and in the sideboard, I cut the Savage Alliance because it was terrible. Added a second Rending Volley, and then I cut. Shoot, why am I brain farting right now? Cut something mediocre for this. What did I cut for that? Something I didn't like. Not sold on them yet. Haven't drawn one. What did I cut? Oh, I cut the land that was in the sideboard, and I cut 1 Glorybringer. Yeah, so the land that was in the sideboard came to the main deck. I cut the 3rd Glorybringer. I never wanted it anyway for these 2. And then I upped the braid count, and I upped the... It's kind of funny. Like, when I had 21, I can't tell a difference between 21 and 23 lands. I can't tell a difference. It doesn't seem to ever matter. Like, I think I could play 19 lands and not know. He has 7 lands next turn, so... And we're done here. Oh well. We went 6 and 4 on today. It's pretty disappointing, but yep, I think I'm going to call it. That league was too miserable for me to want to play another league. Like, my eyes are literally bleeding after 5 rounds of mulligans. It happens. It's just a little frustrating for it to happen literally 5 rounds in a row. Even the round that we won, we drew horribly, but our opponent drew 13 lands, so, like, he drew worse. It's not like we drew well that game. We drew very bad. We mulliganed that game, too. But anyway, it was fun. I'm being a little bit salty. Like, literally getting mana screwed 5 rounds in a row. After a 5-0 even, so, like, I know it's not the deck. But, whatever. Don't really care. That's enough for me. I'm going to... What the hell? Who put that in there? I didn't know MTG bot did that. Anyway, I'm gonna go get food and be all smiles. So I'm gonna host Sam because Sam's good people. Been pretty dead in here tonight anyway. Thanks for stopping by, Booted and J Army and Don Diggity and whoever else may randomly be in here lurking, which is probably next to nobody. I'll be back tomorrow because I'm here always. Oh, by the way, yesterday, I didn't notice, but yesterday was 31 days straight, so I streamed an entire month. Wonder how long I can keep it up. I don't know, but 31 days is pretty sweet. Anyway, take care, everybody.